head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. It's a kill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
All right, back at it again. Game number 2 between New Age Esports and St. Clair College about to get started. We're about to hop into the draft in just a second. Just getting a couple quick picks and bans underway. But of course, Saints right around the corner. Say it time and time again, but it's kind of insane. 5-0 perfect Upsurge minor league season is right in their grasp. Can they finalize on it? We'll have to see as we look to hop on in to the draft phase. Looks like we're going to get baited a little bit with a bit of a buggy client, so unfortunate it's actually on this side here. So we are going to actually take 2. Let's try this again. So of course we're going to hop in when it's actually the client time before draft. Got absolutely baited there. So okay, going into that last game, to be honest, Saints didn't look clean for the most part in that mid portion. Again, we've seen time and time again, like, sure, they're finding themselves W's here in the Upsurge minor leagues, but in certain matchups against Penguin Brigade, in matchups during Collegiate League of Legends, we've seen teams be able to punish them for those bad mistakes. And whether it's just seeing red going too crazy or just some bad positioning choices, it can really snowball out of nowhere. And to be honest, New Age Esports, they were really close. They were punishing certain things, but unfortunately were not able to capitalize on it in the very, very end in that final Baron fight, like I was saying before, where nobody was able to actually shut down that Baron from happening. There was no poke prior to, and the only thing they could do was just have Peter Denounce on that Lissandra dive on in and try to be the engage for the squad. But optimally, you want to lock down a carry with that ultimate and not just keep throwing it on yourself. And it's a very odd playstyle. Normally, you would only want to do that for emergencies. However, Peter Denounce was using it like that was the only option, exception of one gank against Frez. So, one thing I want to see coming into game number 2 is a different choice of champion selections for some of the members on the side of New Age. I mean, to be honest, the Clair up in the top lane, as much as I don't see it very often, it was winning that fight. It was winning that lane pretty hard, to be honest. But, like, was it really effective in the very late game? Other than maybe getting his team a little bit of extra movement speed, I really don't feel like he made that big of an impact that he couldn't have been something on a little bit more standard in the current metagame of League of Legends. Then taking a look at H-King, he did fine on that Lilia. Especially early, he was basically, like, going tit for tat there with Active Force. However, just Active Force was getting the better of it. That early mid lane skirmish where it felt like it went on for like 3 minutes, that fight definitely didn't do H-King any justice, but was right there, was keeping it nice and close, but could not get his teammates enough ahead. And to be honest, Blazing Bronze and Chaser down in the bot lane, again, like a harp on Ezreal, but he was making it work until it didn't. But of course, getting to that late game portion, I would definitely rather have the safety in range of the Caitlyn pick and having Miensfo on the Braum compared to a poke sustain kind of bot lane when you're not built, when your team isn't built to poke and sustain. That's one thing that kind of like had me messing with my head a little bit as we were going into that late game, because yeah, Lissandra wants to go in, Kled wants to go in, Lilia doesn't mind diving in, doesn't mind waiting around either, but then the Seraphine and the Ezreal, you kind of want to poke with that a little bit, and just New Age Esports just didn't. So there's definitely other combinations of champions that they can be doing to try and do a little bit of a cleaner job. And it looks like they did actually give me a brand new link for spectating this. So we'll take a look and see if this works this time by it, if we can hop on into that momentarily. Don't mind me as we do this live as always. And okay, so you know what? We're about halfway through this. We're just gonna wait until the client again because I did get this a tiny bit late. So we'll have to see. Just a sneak peek that I have here. Won't spoil it for y'all just yet, but while we do wait for the actual client side draft, let's find a prediction to make. What do we want to try and compare here for this next matchup? Let's see. I mean, the obvious one here to me is a most or best KDA between Active Force and Lazi, considering they're both the ones absolutely killing it, literally, on the squad here for St. Clair right now. Unless I want to do another... Let's see, unless I want to do another New Age versus Saints. I mean, last time I did that, though, everybody just voted for the Saints. So you know what? For this next one here, this next prediction, so who... We'll just say that again. Who takes part in more elims? We're going to keep Active Force there, but this time we are going to put Lazi in there for this time. Bye. Okay, it should be live now in the Twitch chat. You got 5 minutes to make your predictions there. Of course, before we do end up hopping into game number 2. Of course, a big thank you once again to the sponsors that make this all possible. That being St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, the St. Clair SRC, Suckleman School of Business and Information Technology, EC Outlet, and of course, the St. Clair College Alumni Association. I hear it in the background, so let's finally get ourselves back into the picks and drafts as we hop on in the client version. May have been spoiled just a second there of what I just saw there, but we'll have to see where exactly some of these champions are going. Catching me with a couple slip-ups here today, but it is what it is. Trying our best here on the broadcast. And New Age is going to be taking the blue side is one thing to note this time by. Didn't necessarily like that red side for game number 1, and we're going to see the Gnarly Gnar actually coming out here from Potato Senpai, which is definitely a little bit more standard compared to the meta we see nowadays. Warren for Kubra, fair enough. Jarvan for Active Force is going to be the first I've seen in a while. And then Age King is going to be picking up the Ivern. That is going to be a weird one as well. Of course, one of the old Moonstone abusers, but Moonstone is not necessarily as crazy as it used to be. We have ourselves an explosive matchup here in the mid lane, or Peter Denounce. Not going to be the one doing the engages here this time. He's going to be on that Victor for some burst damage. And speaking of burst, Bryce is going to have plenty of it. Going to be rocking the Syndra for this second matchup. And the bot lane, Lazi is going... Why? He's going to really drive me crazy here by picking up Ezreal for this game. Going to try and prove me wrong. And it's going to be Blazing Bronze onto the Aphelios. Good God, what are his ability names? I have no idea. We're going to be learning together here alongside Chaser on the Thresh. So, some decent engage on the side of New Age Esports. And then it's going to be the Ezreal Seraphine lane for St. Clair this time. Okay. So, everybody's betting on Active Force, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We'll have to see as this game goes on here. But, yes, we have ourselves the draft. We have ourselves the champions locked and ready to go. So, with the Jarvan, of course, you always have a ton of engage. Tap that up with the Seraphine from Yansfo as well. And Syndra, if she can find the stun, that's fine as well. Ornn can obviously get into dodge as well. But taking a look at New Age Esports, they definitely have themselves some pick potential as soon as you pick up the Thresh. Of course, one of the many champions that can hook and lock somebody down nice and quick. Ivern can do that to a much lesser extent. I believe it's just a root on his kit. And then, of course, we've seen Kubra rock the Gnar a few times this season already. The Gnarly Gnar was always a fan favorite for Kubra. But he hasn't gotten to play it for a while. And now it's going to be Potato Senpai who gets to pick that one up. So definitely a much different look compared to game number 1. low-key thinking that this one might be game 3. But we'll have to see if Saints can find themselves an early enough lead. I mean, get any of these carries fed, and it is going to be nuts. But I feel like Jarvan isn't that kind of not hyper carry, but he may not be that kind of carry that Active Force has been kind of abusing so far in these last couple games. Like, yes, he has the engage, he can do some damage, but is it Xin Zhao level of damage, or is it, I'm trying to think of what he was using in the past. Is it Olaf level of damage? Absolutely not. But we'll have to see moving forward here. And you're putting Kubra, safe pick there on the Ornn. And then it still triggers me to no end that Lousy picked Ezreal. I feel like this is directly in a I'll show you moments here to the commentary booth. But if this goes to game 3, don't blame me. But anyway, we'll now have, of course, Blazing Bronze on Aphelios. That is going to be a little bit hard to deal with, specifically since they have that Thresh there as well. I feel like Biensfo has to be super, super careful in this lane phase compared to the last couple games. And just picking Seraphine, that's... I don't usually think of that as a Biensfo champion. I would think of that more as as a Frez champion. I feel like it was kind of along the same types of utility and damage like something like an Orianna would. Of course, Orianna was banned here in this game from the side of New Age Esports, but Frez opting for the Burst Mage here instead. No Corki this time here for him. Didn't get banned or nothing, just going to be switching it over to something maybe a little bit more comfortable. Of course, we didn't necessarily see the order in which the bans were done, unless I can quickly take a peek real fast. And it looks like it would have been... Syndra would have been picked before the Victor, so they just needed something somewhat safe to go with there, since the mid laner did not reveal himself until the final pick. Peter Denounce waited really long in order to get that one, so definitely makes sense there. Just a couple more moments before we do hop on into this second game, of course. Once again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in here tonight for the season finale of the Upsurge Minor League regular season. There is still a playoff season for squads. I believe it starts next week, so they won't skip a beat here on the Saints channel for some Monday Night League of Legends. But this time it's going to be all up against teams that obviously made the playoffs. So in theory, this should be the toughest bunch of them all. But whether the Saints go in as a first seed or if they go in as possibly a second, we'll have to determine. We'll have to see if New Age Esports here can turn this around in game number 2 and possibly set up the upset here against the St. Clair Saints. I know after game number 1, it was closer than I was expecting. I was told earlier that the game at hand was up against a team that was 0-4. Definitely kind of, not rolling my eyes, but I was definitely kind of worried for the opponents, to say the least. But nonetheless, you probably hear it in the background. Let's get into the game for game number 2 between St. Clair College and New Age Esports. Gonna switch the sides, of course, because I did switch the sides. Let's fix that overlay nice and fast. There we go. And let's put a nice little dot on that St. Clair scoreboard, as of course they are 1 up in the series right here, right now. Rather quiet start of the game so far. No real invades except for maybe a ward. We do see some pings coming out here on the side of New Age Esports, but they're not going to be quite moving on it just yet. Possibly spotting out the bot lane. And actually, that bot lane on the side of New Age is possibly looking for a pick early. They might have spotted Biensfo. And it's going to force Biensfo to take the long way around. I like that little extra cutoff. They're going to possibly bring down Active Force, but not going to be the case. They're just going to leash him as blue. But that bot lane on the side of New Age Esports is going to be catching those minion waves first. They will be easily taking care of that second or that first level up. Going up to level 2 nice and fast. As soon as you get, of course, the hook and the flay from Thresh, that is definitely the go button of sorts here for that combo. We see Potato Senpai. This is basically what we're probably going to see here for this top lane battle for at least a little while. Just going to be constantly Cooper eating boomerangs to start things off. Frez going to try and find the stun. Not going to quite end up getting it. The Orb Boy is gone. Frez is going to take the worst end for where here in that trade. Both junglers rather are here. Yeah, going to both kind of bait each other out a little bit. So you have two engages happening at the same time. How did Lassie and Mienzo get level 2 first? That beats me. And Lassie's going to find himself first blood, which is probably a blessing because Actiforce might go down. Very low, very close. Mienzo's still chasing down here in the bot lane. Lassie, he's looking for the Mystic Shot. Snipes him down. Blazing Bronze goes down. Lassie finds himself a double, doing exactly what they need to do here with this Ezreal and Seraphine lane, and finding themselves a nice, quick engagement. Finding himself a double kill onto Lassie. I did not actually expect that in the slightest here. Actiforce in the opposing jungle. What on earth is he doing? He was a little bit overzealous, to say the least, as Chaser is going to find himself the assist. And who got the kill for that one? Oh no, it was Chaser who did find himself the kill there, so a little bit of an overextension there from Actiforce. I don't know who invades with less than a quarter HP, but I mean, it is what it is. As Chaser is about to do the exact same damn thing here as Age King is right around the corner with next to nothing either. Very, very cocky plays coming out from both teams, not being cautious in the slightest. I mean, that was an interesting start, of course, for the St. Clair bot lane. I keep saying, like, over and over that I feel like you can't really do much with Seraphine. We do see another gank here on Peter Denounce. Has no flash available. Frez is going to get that one taken nice and quickly, giving Frez his first one of the game. And now Potato Senpai has to be careful. It's going to be the extended engages that he'll be A-okay with, but these little burst engages coming out here from Kubra might actually turn out to be a problem if he's not careful. Okay, I've been trying to say this. What on earth am I trying to explain here? I'm seeing an Ezreal do well. What the heck? You can tell my mind is boggled here as Lassie finds himself the double. Has a Sheen already as well. And the fact that they hit level 2 first, even though they leashed the blue buff for Actiforce, that just that's what has me puzzled. And considering they had that opportunity, then they absolutely capitalized. So good on them, as we do see Actiforce invading in once again. Just going to flag and drag his way out of dodge. Some good damage once again coming out here from Lassie. Blazing Bronze trying to at least trade evenly, but it's not going to end up being very even. He's going to be knocked down to about a quarter of his HP, forced to pop some potions. And yeah, because Lassie has that Sheen now, that is going to hurt like hell. Every single Mystic Shot is going to sting, especially when you're only level 3. That is going to be very brutal for the side of New Age Esports to try and take care of. Now they could poke, and they could poke safely as well. Even Miensfo there on the Seraphine, whipping out Qs just to try and do just that tiny little bit of extra poke damage. It's going to be a good lockup there from Frez, making Peter Denounce kind of regret that pathing choice. But with the Ivern, with Age King being right there, probably wise to back off on that one. Now that could have potentially been a bad engagement there for Kubra. The charge did not hit its target, and Potato Senpai could have possibly just started whipping boomerangs and just dealing percentage damage, but just a tiny little bit and moves on. Chaser definitely in a world of hurt here, just constantly find himself botted down. And actually Frez does have his ultimates available, Peter Downs does not. We do see the engagement actually coming out here from Potato Senpai. Kubra nearly going down, but going to hang on by a thread. Keep himself alive here. Just have Mienzo and Lassie. They do spot H-King, but one of those Mystic shots definitely hurt. Lassie gonna try and bait out a little bit here. Here comes Active Force. Blazing Bronze is not where he wants to be. That's gonna be the Lantern save, but can the Mystic shot find a target? If it hits either Blazing Bronze or Chaser, I think that would have been enough to actually do the kill. And the flag gonna be nice and annoying here, gonna force them all the way back to try and get back to base. That's gonna be the Dragon, nice and easy if Saints want to try and take care of that. Could be the kill. Does he have enough mana? He doesn't have enough mana for the full combo. He is going to eventually get it off, but unfortunately, just one orb too short to find the kill onto that one there from Frez. It is going to force Peter Denounce to go back to his base, but I'm sure Frez would have loved to find himself one more kill on the board. And Peter's actually going to be using his ultimate just to try and clear the minion wave. There goes the Dragon. So first one in the pocket here for St. Clair. Starting that lead, starting to try and snowball it as best as possible. Up in the top lane this time, Potato Senpai, yes, he has the farm lead once again, but Kubra is much closer compared to last time. Both of these top laners do have their teleports available if the play does arrive and find itself. There's H-King, of course, going to be stealing some of the buffs in that top lane jungle as well. Rift Herald is always something the players can think about at any moment. And then Frez and, okay, where did that come from? Lassie and Frez just from behind are going to absolutely get the jump here onto Blazing Bronze. A play so sneaky, I didn't even see it. I should have been paying attention to my mini-map. Probably why I'm bronze in real life, but it is what it is. Catch me off guard there. Kubra getting engaged upon, but he has to be careful. H-King is here. Horn is going to go across Potato Senpai, but that is going to be the extent of that engagement. As Active Force, I believe he was spotted. So they're going to retreat for at least the time being. Frez nearly has the ultimate available as well. Was thinking about coming up through that top lane river, or that top river, but opted against it. Go back to his lane. We got Potato making a trip through the river as well. Always nerve-wracking seeing players thinking about maybe going to make a play or just opting for vision and moving forward. Never know exactly which it is until it's happened. Some good, just those Mystic shots hurt now, man. Like, that's absolutely insane. True Shot Barrage snipe attempt comes out here from Lassie. It's not going to make contact, however. Chaser constantly on the move, which definitely good. You never want to get comfortable sitting under your tower thinking you're A-okay. We do see the Ivern and Daisy coming out to play here, but it's going to be the teleport. Lassie's just going to absolutely turn this. Chaser had no health. H-King is so low. Auto attack kill going to take this down. This is going to be an absolute gift wrap here for Lassie. He finds himself a triple kill. Oh dear God. This Ezreal is on fire and I absolutely hate it. I have no idea what that engagement was on the side of New Age Esports. Chaser was down to about a quarter HP before that initial engage really even started. Lassie just straight up blinked right into him and took down the Thresh. And then, of course, was able to do a bunch of damage to H-King before Blazing Bronze could even really find his opportunity to swing in and help with that fight. So, like Essence Reaver already in the pocket now of Lassie as well. So much damage compared to the 0-3 Aphelios here for Blazing Bronze. I mean, I guess if you invest the resources here onto this bot lane and you're able to get this Ezreal fed enough, a nice safe 80 carry as long as they play to its proper win condition and poke him out before actually engaging. As we do see Chaser going to get slowed down here once again. Active Force debating on going in, going to opt against it. They did not have Lassie with them. And the mid lane was collapsing on them. Solid stun coming out here from Frez alongside the charm from Yensfo. Big combo coming out here from St. Clair. However, They didn't quite finish the job. They're going to wait for Lassie to come on back here. He's going to jump right onto Potato Senpai. Potato going to try and do his best, but he's not in rage form. Daisy actually coming in clutch for the side of Age King, nearly finding the kill onto Lassie. And unfortunate there from Kubra, as he's going to get dragged into the turret. He's all alone right now. He's in a bit of an awkward spot. Lassie so low right now as well. Teleport coming in. This is going to be Peter. And now Lassie is going to be giving that one over. And that's a solid shutdown bounty going over into the favor of New Age, as that one goes right over into the pocket of Blazing Bronze, who of course was having a rather hard time in that lane so far. So yes, Lassie's got himself 7 kills. That's fantastic. But at least now Blazing Bronze is at least trying to trade himself up here. Fight as even as possible. I mean, I liked that initial engage here from St. Clair, but again, the engage just kind of happened and they just went a little bit too far, it looks like, as it started to trail out of the jungle. And honestly, I always used to think that Daisy was extremely crappy ultimate on the side of Ivern and whatnot, but definitely has me thinking otherwise. There was an absolute unit, and to be honest, if Daisy's just sitting there blocking Mystic shots, I think that's just value in itself here for the side of New Age Esports, let alone that big engage that it can do with the knockup. So definitely something to note, as we do see one Mystic shot hit Blazing Bronze. There goes a quarter. That's the kind of poke that the Saints need to be happening here. That's a nice bunched up group here, and that's going to be a solid true shot barrage. This should, in theory, be enough damage for the Saints to go on in, and it's going to be Frez getting caught out. How many times am I going to say that this season? And he's going to be going down, but let's see if Lassie can turn this one around alongside Actiforce. The Ansel in the background as well, doing some decent damage. Kubra shows up for the cheerleading position as he comes in right as everybody dies. And this is going to be Dragon number 2 going over to St. Clair, as that's going to be a Quadra. The obligatory Quadra kill coming out here for Lassie. Basically gets 1 or 2 every single series at this point. Now we just need a Penta on this Ezreal to just absolutely make me lose it here tonight. 11, 1, and 1. See Lassie tear through this bot lane. Let's take a look at our predictions right here. I don't know what it is about Lassie, but he's always, even though he's the AD carry and he gets a bunch of kills constantly every single game, some players sometimes just seem to outshine him, and a lot of people keep forgetting how crazy he absolutely is here in that bot lane. As 32% of you voted Lassie compared to the 68% of you that voted Active Force. Because as of right now, it is in the favor of Lassie, but it's not by that much, to be honest. It is just 12-8. So those who voted Active Force, do not fret yet. There's still lots of game left to go here today, as Frez is going to get absolutely murdered here by the little hamster and gets taken down. Boomerang to the face is enough to take care of the witch, apparently. And it didn't even dawn on me either that Ezreal has teleport. We have to watch out. Lassie's starting to get stupid aggressive here. This is where things can be tossed around. The 2v1 technically here against Lassie is going to give the shutdown over to Age King. So again, an extremely over-aggressive play coming out here from Lassie is going to give the shutdown gold on over to that Ivern. Make that Daisy that much more terrifying as well. In fact, there she goes right now, going to be picking up the Rift Herald. Peter Denouns might be finding himself in a little bit of trouble here, and he's going to get engaged on by Kubra and Active Force. Active Force going to secure that kill. Ansel actually was doing a little bit of poke as well to maybe find this kill here onto Chaser. Definitely chasing around. It's going to be the charm to try and negate out this hook, but the box comes on out here from the side of Chaser, but it is going to be him getting out of dodge in the end. Shelly is going to now be contested here by the side of St. Clair. Clair's going to be farming up that bot lane while Lassie's in the mid. And in theory, this should go over to St. Clair nice and clean. A little bit slow, actually, considering they don't have their damage dealers here in this situation, but they are going to be able to take it down in the end. One more shot should do it. There it goes into the pocket of St. Clair. So far, Kubra up in this top lane, having himself a bit of a quiet game. Been involved in 2 of the assists so far in this game, but it has not gone down at all. It's just been basically just a brick house up there in that top lane. That's a big root coming down onto Blazing Bronze. Holy smokes, that combo coming out of Lassie. True Shot Barrage is not going to find its target. I like the attempt, but not going to find Blazing Bronze. Wise of him not to stay dead center of the lane. It's basically where I would assume that the player would go if they're running away. Cooper definitely taking some heat, but at least under tower, staying safe. Nobody's in range to really dive him, so he'll be okay for at least a while. Rez out farming Peter Denounce here in this game, as we now do see a little bit of contest down towards that red buff. Going to be going over to H-King. Potato Senpai looking to just continue the chase. And actually, speaking of chasing here, Lazio was looking for the final shot there onto Chaser. Not going to be the case. Potato actually does take care of that top turret, so that Gnar will be an absolute pain to try and deal with as this game goes on. May not necessarily have a ton of kills, but has been farming up strong and has been doing well. Activeforce going to dive in right onto Blazing Bronze. Blazing Bronze does dodge the charm, the encore coming out from the side of Miensfo. So now it's going to be the hook again. Frez going to find himself on the wrong side of a thresh hook, and he's going to be taken down. It's going to be the double kill now coming out here from Kubra, who joins the fight to try and keep everybody alive. Lassie is just going to straight up frontline this one. One more shot onto Peter Denounce could definitely do it, but it's just a matter of finding that auto attack. There it goes. But a mid-ranged auto attack sometimes makes it a little bit difficult to chase on down. But Lassie has to be careful. Potato Senpai with the Gnar ultimate right into the wall. Gets the shutdown on to Lassie. So that Gnar is actually going to be terrifying. The Gnutty Gnar is going to be against the St. Clair squad in this matchup. And I mean, that's how Saints absolutely get obliterated by this. It could very well be the same situation that we've seen in game number 1, or sure. Blazing Bronze had himself a solid game, had a lot of kills even on that Ezreal, but get caught once and you're basically screwed, as we now see ourselves another engage down by the Dragon Pit. The Mountain Drake is ready to be contested, and Lassie is not here, and he doesn't have his teleport. All he has is the True Shot Barrage. Can he snipe this thing? He's damn well going to try. He's going to go across Ape King, but everything else is going to falter, and it's going to be a solid stun. That's actually a solid engage here from St. Clair. It's Miensfo who's going to blow up Chaser alongside the rest of the St. Clair squad. So they are going to be losing the one dragon, but they do find one kill. So, I mean, at least it's not empty-handed, so to speak. But Lazio took a little bit too long to come back from that last engagement, and they weren't able to do a fight they were necessarily confident with. They are going to turn their head towards the Baron, which is going to be coming around here in just a second. And there he is, spawns right on cue, and the Saints are going to be able to blow this up. That being said, though, the side of New Age Esports, they're on hot pursuit. They realize what's going on. Blazing Bronze trying to pick up a blue buff. I'll try and make his way there, but it's going to be a little bit too long. Encore into the Ornhorn. That is going to be a dead Gnar. Did not have any effect on this fight whatsoever, which could mean absolutely brilliance here for St. Clair if they can keep himself safe. But watch out for that Victor ultimate. It's doing so much damage. Miensfo nearly goes down. Frez is down. No burst damage for you. And the red team is going to end up getting this. So that's going to be St. Clair getting the Baron. So where on earth is Lassie? Lassie's dead. And now it's going to be Blazing Bronze finding the kill onto him. Can they get a little bit more? That hook was just barely short. But Blazing Bronze in hot pursuit of Kubra and Activeforce. Activeforce going to re-engage. Can he find the kill? He is going to find the kill onto Blazing Bronze. He finds the kill onto Peter. And that is exactly what Saints need to do to keep themselves from losing that lead. Chaser not going to be long on for this world if he gets himself caught by that smite. And the chase is on. It was just a matter of time before somebody is ready for that lantern. And sure enough, Potato Senpai just barely out of range with that boomerang. And are they going to actually turn this? They're going to damn well try. Potato Senpai going to run for the hills. There's no blast cone available for him. Lassie going to pick up that one. Unfortunate there for Potato. I seen what he was looking for, but it was not there. And he's going to go down again. Just not teleported, just took the Lantern back into the fight and basically got killed for it. So handing over 2 kills nice and quick.
Stick with me and you'll be fine. That's not a guarantee.
Truer words were never spoken there by that Ezreal, as of course may be fed, but you can still get blown up at a moment's notice. Saints take another turret. They have this lead close to 9k or almost close to 10k. But we've seen it before. This is about the time where they would get themselves ahead, but then they would throw the lead to the point where it got close, but they didn't completely throw the lead. So we got to see how much cleaner can they take these next couple minutes, these next couple engagements. And will it be a 5-on-5 or will somebody get caught, which is always a problematic part of sometimes for the St. Clair College squad. Cooper and Lassie looking for the red buff. Going to be taken away, though. H-King going to be there. And one Mystic Shot takes away a quarter of his HP, which is definitely scary. If they're going to find these fights, they need to do it quickly. Activeforce maybe not on the same page here with Kubra. They dives in with the Cataclysm, but nobody else was there to help. Actually, Lassie's in the mid lane. The Saints are completely spread here. This could be bad, but they are going to be able to just flag and drag out of there. So, Saints averting disaster, as that could have been an overzealous engage. Yes, Activeforce doesn't have Cataclysm for at least a little bit, but that ultimate does come back somewhat quickly, so it's not the complete end of the world. Already halfway off cooldown, just has to wait a little bit longer here. I mean, for this new age esports engage, if the Gnar could still find his way in, if Potato Senpai could find himself a huge ultimate, there is plenty of damage here still on this new age team to actually blow up Lassie, blow up Frez, and turn this before it even gets started. And we're going to have to see as this tower is now in contest. We do see Daisy coming out to play here for H-King. Going to opt to hang on for a second. Saints not going to end up going for the tower, at least not yet. Waiting for some minions. And even Mystic Shots onto Daisy do a ton of damage. And they're going to steal Daisy away, send him into the back line. So long for a moment, Daisy, to get teleported back in. Some big damage actually going on to Peter. Peter Denowns getting rather hurt, and that's exactly the time Saints need. They poked out the mid laner, which of course they do not want to then engage off of that. Chaser is maybe thinking about it, but that was Ezreal composition kind of played right in that situation. They actually poked down somebody, and then when they had to retreat, they engaged. That's what you like to see, as Dragon number 3 here for the Saints is going to be picked up here by Lassie. So Dragon's Soul Point right around the corner within the next 5 minutes. So timer's kind of ticking now on this new age esports squad. If they want to keep themselves comfortably in this game, they're going to have to fight for that next one. They have to expect that similar style of play is going to come out here from St. Clair, where it's going to end up being the Baron attempt into the Dragon attempt. Of course, last game they lost the Baron, and that's pretty much what happened to make that a very close and even a back and forth styled game, as New Age was at least able to make those fights like contestable, very, very close and whatnot. But if Saints can find that Baron without question, then that Dragon is basically going to happen for free. What is happening here to this poor blue buff? It is going to get transferred over to both Peter and H-King, of course. I forgot that is a thing about Ivern. Can definitely do there, just stalling long enough to give Peter Denowns that blue buff. And how about this, as we catch back up with the status of our little mini game here between involvement in eliminations. Right now, Activeforce sitting with 17 after 5 kills and 12 assists. And then Lazi sitting there with 18. Active Force is catching back up. So everyone who put their coins in onto Active Force, you may rejoice. It's right around the corner. Very well possible that he gets the victory here in that comparison. But we're going to see the Baron go down here nice and fast. Sure, it's going to be Blazing Bronze taking care of that tower in the mid lane, but he's nowhere near this if they do end up trying to fight. Saints are going to get this Baron for free. They have 3 minutes now before the next Mountain Dragon. And do they opt for a team fight? They're kind of looking for it. I believe the teleport is available for Potato Senpai, but I feel like Saints can definitely blow somebody up too fast. And in fact, Blazing Bronze extremely out of position. Going to be taken down here. Frez is going to get credited for that one. Blows him up and takes care of him. Why in the world Drady Carey is out alone like that is beyond me, but it's definitely going to cost them. And now, it's just going to be a trickle fest here for the side of New Age, but a solid Lantern coming out here from Chaser to keep Potato Senpai at least alive a little bit longer. This is a teleport. Where did that come from? That's actually Kubra from behind. Going to look to try and get the Ornhorn on in here. He is going to be able to strike at least a couple members on the side of New Age. This could be the game ender if everybody goes down on the side of New Age. Daisy wreaking havoc actually in the middle of the St. Clair team. Active Force getting himself rather low. It's going to be a solid stun here for Potato. He does have Rage mode available, but he's so low on HP. You know he wants to engage right now and fire off a Gnar. But this is a rough spot to try and do it. Going to have to run for the hills. This inhibitor turret going to go down. Inhibitor going to be short to follow as well. No contest there. It's going to be taken down. Are they going to opt to try and end this? It would be a very greedy play if they opt to try. But it's going to be Kubra getting himself hooked. Potato going to take a little bit of poke damage here from Lassie down on the south side of the base. But Saint's going to slowly but surely make their way back out of here, which is probably wise. Maybe try the mid turret instead, or get ready to go back up for that Dragon Soul. You know what your win condition is. Maybe go get it. Get ready and make sure that you're on full power to go get that objective. And it looks like that's exactly what the St. Clair College squad is going to do, as we did see Lousy and Frez both go back already. The tank line and the support line going to be short to follow as well. And then one more solid push here for St. Clair could be the tickets to a completely flawless 5-0 season. I can't necessarily call it flawless because there's definitely mistakes that have been made, but they've not lost a best of 3. And then as of right now, they've only dropped 1 map all season to the Penguin Brigade. Chaser might be in for a rude awakening here. Death Bush, he's going to get absolutely nuked, and he is no longer with us here as he gets completely deleted from the jungle. So now with the one-on-one actually happening here too between Lazzy and Peter Denouns, that's just an easy kill. In fact, they're going to just push this down with 2 players down. Take this inhibitor turret while they leave Active Force to go get the dragon, getting the maximum amount of value for that play. Yep, inhibitor is now gone. They're probably going to wait a second for Active Force to finish off that dragon. Lassie, never mind, he's not going to wait in the slightest. He's going to actually do a little bit of poke damage, plus that ultimate, the True Shot Barrage across Blazing Bronze, but is going to keep him alive just a little bit longer. That is a solid hook, though, coming on from Chaser, and it's going to force the Ornhorn, because the Saints had to disengage. Lassie, of course, big portion of their damage. Active Force finally taking care of the dragon. The soul is now in the pocket here for St. Clair. A huge encore coming out here from Yansfo to finish this one off. Going to take 3 players down. Just a matter of dealing with the turrets. There's super minions here already as well. It's all up to Peter and Bronze to try and defend this, and there's just too much damage here for St. Clair, and they're going to end up getting it. St. Clair get themselves the 2-0 in this matchup and give themselves the 5-0 in this Upsurge minor league season. Holy moly, they end up taking care of it, and it's painful to admit it, but Ezreal won a game. Solid job there from the bot lane of St. Clair to prove me wrong on that one, of course. At the end of the day, I suppose you play who you enjoy at the end of the day. Unless Lazzy was just strictly doing that just to troll me. We'll have to see as we move forward here. Just awaiting on some stats here before we do actually conclude with the prediction as well, because that was actually quite close. But I think with Actiforce going to get the Dragon and Lazzy still just tearing through the team in the base, I think that might have sealed the deal in regards to the kill participation. So we'll have to see in a moment how that one works. Of course, in this instance here, I don't consider deaths until a tiebreaker is needed. Yes, Lazzy might have died more than Actiforce, but that wasn't what I was calculating, so it is what it is there. But of course, New Age Esports going to be going down here 2-0, and it's just incredibly surprising considering the level of talent there on that roster. I don't know if it's just lack of synergy or the draft itself. This draft that they did here was actually much more meta, much more standard, and yet it felt like it lost harder. So a little bit back to the drawing board here for the next season for the New Age Esports squad, unless they are able to, unless there is a playoff for everybody, like some leagues, but I'm not sure 100% if there is. But yeah, this means that the St. Clair squad are going to be going into playoffs as the first seed from their division. And I'm actually going to try and see if I can pull up the total stats as of this moment. Total standings, that is. Okay, so it's not updated, obviously, because some matches are still going on here, but this is what I have in regards to the standings. So with that, St. Clair, of course, are going to be 5-0 in their group, looking strong. Penguin Brigade are currently being listed in second, going 3-1. University of Southern California and DOV Defiance, that one is going to be determined by their matchup later on tonight, as they're both in the middle, 2-2. And then Wichita Wolves Red, currently sitting 1-3. And of course, New Age Esports are going to be at the very bottom with 0-5 here tonight. Back to the drawing board for them for maybe the next season coming up. But that being said, don't stop, keep on trying, and we will hopefully find ourselves a nice rematch against you sometime in the near future. With that, we will be wrapping up momentarily. It does look like, yep, sure enough, that last little bit where Actiforce had to go get the Dragon is going to be the deciding factor that did take Lazzy to victory in regards to our predictions. So Lazzy is going to find himself the points here for the squad here tonight. And then, yes, of course, seeing some grifts in the chat is what we like to see. Big shout out to the St. Clair League of Legends team for their flawless season here in the Upsurge Minor League. I look forward to seeing what playoffs bring to them. And we won't have to wait very long for that, actually, as it is going to be just next Monday, I do believe. So, right around the corner, see some more Upsurge League of Legends action. Speaking of other action here on the channel, I do want to quickly throw it on over to our schedule for what we have coming up in the next couple of days. Or tomorrow here at 8 o'clock, we will have some Nace Counter-Strike action on Saints Gaming CA's main channel right here, right now. But on the second channel on Saints Gaming CA2, it's not listed here on the schedule, but if you're looking forward to seeing some Call of Duty, you are in luck. There is going to be a stream on Saints Gaming CA2 for the Call of Duty doubleheader. So if you want to check that out, make sure maybe multi-stream us up or something like that and catch all of the action live. Then on Wednesday, it's the preseason for Play versus Fortnite Trios. We'll get a taste of what kind of carnage we'll be looking at for this next season coming up. And then on Thursday, we get to take a look and see what the Overwatch team has been up to. NECC Overwatch going to be happening at 6:30, I believe, on Thursday. Friday, it's been about a week since we've seen Rainbow Six in action, and it's going to be week 3 of Collegiate R6 that we're going to be hopping into. Of course, 9. Going to be a late one, but it's going to be a fun one nonetheless, so make sure to catch that. And then for more League of Legends action, you still have CLOL as well happening at Saturday on 3 p.m. And that might actually be the end of our double headers as well, since there is no more Face It Rainbow Six Siege Collegiate Championships unless we make the playoffs, which we were 3-3 in the season, so it was kind of close. So I'm not quite sure just yet. But of course, big thank yous all around to the sponsors, first off, that do make this all possible. That being St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, Stuckman School of Business and Information Technology, EC Outlet, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the St. Clair SRC for making the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team possible, and thank you for your support. And of course, big thank you to everybody for tuning in to the action. Seeing we had ourselves quite an active chat here tonight. This is what I love to see. And everybody cheering on the Saints squad, or even if you weren't here to cheer on the Saints squad, you're here for New Age, you're still definitely welcome here, and welcome to cheer on your squad as well. At the end of the day, this may be the hometown stream, of course, for the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team, but we do welcome all in our broadcasts. But of course, big thank you to everybody again for supporting their family members, their friends, classmates, or just your team. So big thank you to everybody for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to some more action later on this week. And I need to take a nap because I can tell that I'm starting to ramble. So we're going to be calling it a night. I'll see you tomorrow for Counter-Strike.